Hello, everybody, and welcome to group stage week two. Are we still in week two of week three? Week three of the Hylidae tournament. Today we have MPH versus GSL. I believe this is the first matchup of a very, very long weekend. So stay tuned for that. I'm DTM, and together commentating with me today is going to be Carrot.
Hi, excited to be here, excited to commentate with DTM. Looking forward to this match between two very experienced teams. I think GSL's been in IBT before and I've been together for a long time. And Mapacy, I haven't seen a lot of. I think they're a newly formed team, but they have a lot of experienced players who've been in IBT, so definitely a very pro matchup.
Yeah, I agree. I think both of these teams have some experience under their belts. And these both are some really strong teams, so I'm really looking forward to getting into this matchup shortly. Right now, we are waiting for the map to start. We had a GSL ban Moonlit, and then we are going to be playing on Arms Factory Round 1 with GSL Hunting. And it is going to be Femdrake Hunting, so I'm looking forward to maybe some BQ action here in the first half. Uh, Yo, is Carrot talking?
No, sorry.
Okay, no, it's because your thing is green. I couldn't tell if my computer was having a fit. Okay. Yeah, I think this custom should be getting started shortly. So, I don't know, Carrot, what do you think we can expect from these survivors here to counter what Femdrake plays?
Well, if Break plays BQ,
Mhm.
then probably some tag characters. I feel like uh, the hunter for Mapacy is also very strong, so they might be going for a 4K and a tie on the survivor side.
Mhm. Yeah, I agree. I think that would be a really great outcome for their hunter and survivor. I mean, Mathesy have a good hunter with nobody. So they're probably going to be confident in a win, and if their survivors can secure a draw against Femdrake's specialty, that's going to be it's going to put them in really good shape. And she does specialize in that BQ, so BQ is like generally a draw hunter. Just like if she hits a bunch of mirrors in the early game and snowballs, things can get really tricky. But if you have stable support, you might be in good shape.
Oh, Gardener and Puppeteer band. That's rough. Do you think that it's an opera? These seems like typical first round bands for an opera or Ivy.
hmm Yeah, banning out the multi-hit characters like Gardner has her shield and then Puppeteer is annoying in general. The survivors do still have like Psychologist and Seer if they want to go for multi-hit characters who are pretty decent against BQ and can work against Opera as well if Femdrake actually wants to go for the more meta option. So that's definitely an option for them as well, but I am looking forward to seeing these locks here. I'm hoping to see some maybe strong support or strong rock hiders. Maybe something like, you see coordinator sometimes, dancer, acrobat, patient, something along those lines. Ooh, so you're an antiquarian.
Yeah, I'm surprised that they picked Seer and such strong characters first round since they will be banned for the rest of the match.
Yeah, that's a really good point because Seer and Antiquarian are very strong survivors. You usually want to keep them as options open in the later rounds. Seer is a very good support, and Antiquarian is a really good harasser, potentially the best one in the game. But maybe, like you said, they're really trying to go all out in securing a draw in the first half. That way, they put nobody in a good position to win the round if he gets a win, and then they'll have a really big point lead.
Yeah, that's a good point. This is a very bulky team too, so I think it'll be tough for Femdrake to go for more.
Mhm.
And Proud Sensei does also play a lot of harassers, especially I think they're known for their forward. So I think maybe they still have a lot of options left for the next round.
Yeah, definitely. We are going to see the FO and the Barmaid band as well. MPH are going to respond with the Mercenary to secure and arrest you. And then it is going to be the Acrobat rounding out their conf with a really strong solo kiter who can definitely put in a lot of work if he gets chased first. So no Barmaid, they're not going to have a lot of heals, but Seer's going to be making everyone on this comp hard to chase. And I mean, BQ does well against Antiquarian, but Acrobat's going to be a struggle. I think though BQ overall is not too weak against this comp, so Femdrake still has a fighting chance, I think.
That's true. I would be pretty upset if I went against a team like this in rank, but hopefully Fendrake has a plan since they're also a very strong hunter.
Yeah, definitely. I think they usually like going something like Patroller. I think I don't know. I've seen someone play Patroller BQ recently. And something like that could really work if you want to chase an Antiquarian so you can get easy mirror hits. Or you could always go for the Seer to get rid of their support. And Seer by himself has nothing really to kite with. No kiting tools besides that owl, so he's just a 3-hit character. But BQ can burn through those hits really quickly with 2 mirrors and a blink. So if that happens, maybe it could be a fast down on the Seer.
That's true. Seer definitely does look like one of the easier targets. I really like the names on everyone's personas, like Acrobat having the persona Gardener.
Mhm. Yeah, this is pretty interesting. These persona builds are kind of spoiling what we'll see maybe in the next slide when we see the area select, but it is looking like Seer potentially is on a suicide build. And it looks like Acrobat is using Proud's Gardener build. I'm not sure what Proud likes on his Gardener, but we're gonna find out soon. And Femdrake just has a persona build called Mary, so I mean, yeah, they got that going on too.
Mhm.
hmm And this is looking pretty standard as far as builds go. It's going to be a flywheel on Anti, broken windows on Acro, and then the suicide build on Seer. And they are giving Seer Factory as well. So Seer, even though he is the weakest kiter here, he has a lot of tools to work with. So Femdrake might want to hesitate before she chases the Seer at Factory.
Yeah, in that case, who would you go after other than Sears, since Acrobat is pretty far in Shack 2, and the only ones close are Antiquarian and Mercenary, who are pretty famous for being tough to chase.
hmm Yeah, I definitely think Mercenary isn't really a great option here. So Antiquarian at Deep Ruins could be viable for BQ. It's still not going to be easy, but if you play carefully and you just go for easy mirror hits, then you can still get that down pretty quickly. The only issue is this Antiquarian does have Flywheel. And if she can get a Flywheel and dodge a mirror hit, that's going to buy a lot of time for her. So Femdrake does have to be careful if she goes for that route.
Yeah, that's true. If Antiquarian gets the flywheel, then plus the Sierra Owl, it would probably be a stable 3 cipher kite, and we don't know if M. Drake wants that.
No, I don't think she does. Femdrake most likely wants to get a fast down here because I'm sure they're aware that nobody is really good at IDV. So I think we're gonna see some aggressive gameplay here from Femdrake. As we get into this match, let's see where she decides to go and who she wants to chase first here.
Mm-hmm.
Going for that Seer then.
Now that makes sense. Since the other characters are pretty hard to chase, and you can wedge Seer inside Factory, I wonder what sort of build she's brought.
Yeah, and Femdrake is going to go for that mirror and gets the hit, despite Seer taking a speed boost, I think. So really well played mirror there to actually secure the first hit. And already an injury on the Seer, 30 seconds left on Blink still. We'll see, Seer should be able to kite out this mirror, but the next mirror is going to be difficult to dodge for him.
Yeah, we saw how Fendrake started hitting right after the mirror was placed, so definitely very confident in their mirrors and in the mirrors.
Yeah, very precise mirrors here. We're going to see another one shortly. and is going to go for that sandwich. Early flywheel from Seer. Can he actually avoid this mirror hit? It doesn't look like Femdrake. Yeah, she's going to have to swap with the mirror, and the Seer is going to use Owl to transition into this locker area.
That's pretty good for Femdrake too, though, since now Seer is down not one but two resources.
Yeah, but that was a good rotation from Seer, and as we can see, the ciphers are moving pretty quickly. Two ciphers are almost done. Without any resources, Seer is most likely going to be going down here. There it is. No second owl, unfortunately, but two ciphers are going to be popping shortly here, and Mercenaries is already at 60. So the survivors might have themselves a draw position here, potentially.
Very good kite from the Seer to fight that strong mirror from Mary.
Yeah, absolutely. And now Mercenary is going to be coming in here. Early Mirror, not going to get the hit on the Mercenary. That would have been a big game changer. Hopefully Merc can make this rescue without getting a Terror Shock. And there's the hit. A little bit early, but good rescue from the Mercenary. Now we'll have to see if Seer can actually do a rebound.
Very beautiful elbow pads and rescue from Seer. Though, was she going to blink? And the blink is out, and Seer will be going down with Ty. Let's see if they rescue again.
Yeah, a good job by Seer getting the blink out. They definitely want to waste the Hunter's trade at this point. Unfortunately, not a long rebound, but with blink, there's not much you can do. And Seer's main job was getting blink out anyway, so we can see here that 3 ciphers are finished, and their 5th is just getting started, but this isn't terrible progress, so we'll have to see if they go for a second rescue here.
And I'm looking forward to see if Antiquarian chooses to support after this rescue.
Yeah, that Antiquarian support can be very scary. So it looks like Antiquarian is going to be coming in. Does make the rescue clean as well. We'll have to see whether she can secure a long rebound with the support.
2 stacks are gone, and we'll see if she'll choose to stun the mirror or to wait until Seer goes down. It looks like she is accompanying the Seer to make sure that he can transition out.
And we're seeing really aggressive body blocking there. And some more support from the Antiquarian. Seer did a great job of dodging that mirror hit with the speed boost from the window vault. And I'm not sure. It doesn't look like Seer has another owl yet, unfortunately, but flanks against the wall, and it's going to be a firebomb too, along with more Antiquarian support. And the last cipher is at 80%. This is going to be really close, but the cipher might be primed by the time Seer goes down.
Oh yeah, beautiful support from the teammates. I was a little worried before when Seer started going towards the last cipher with everyone there, but they made sure that he safely got out. Very impressive.
Yeah, and now the cipher is going to be finished here. So we still see Father Milk going in for support, but oh, he didn't borrow time. I forgot about that. So yeah, they really needed to him not get hit, and unfortunately, now it looks like Father Milk might be in trouble here. Is Femdrake gonna push for this hit before she chairs Seer? Doesn't look like it.
Looks like Seer will be heading back to the manor, and the survivors are staying away from the gates for the time being. Oh no, Proud Sensei is decoding the other 2, probably headed towards the other gate.
Yeah, but that's really strange. They actually had the Acrobat on the gate for some reason, and the gate isn't quite open yet. Wow, great juke from the Acrobat there, and he somehow actually manages to get away. And now Merc is going to be going for the body block. This could still be a 3 escape here if Merc is... Oh, she gets the hit through the Merc. Wow.
Oh, that was a very good hit from the Mary. Very unfortunate that the Merc didn't body block that.
Yeah, that would have been a great outcome for the survivors if they were able to get a 3 escape. And now Antiquarian is actually playing this extremely risky. This could end up... Okay, good flywheel, though, to get out of the gate. And it looks like then this is going to be a draw from the survivors. Very well played to both sides. Yeah, I actually totally forgot that Seer didn't borrow time. So I was kind of like, oh, why is BT still supporting? And he really needed the body block. If they were able to get that body block though, they might have been able to win. So like, really great effort from the survivors, but Femdrake's hits were very accurate to secure the draw.
Great work from Femdrake to securing that tie.
Mhm. Yeah, and now that it has been a draw in the first half, we are going to be moving on to the second half with MPH's Hunter Nobody playing. And like we've already talked about, Nobody is really good, mostly known nowadays for his Ivy. So I think Nobody's Ivy might be able to get some really strong results here. An Ivy is a good Ivy is really scary.
Yeah, definitely. I haven't seen a lot of Ivy in ranked because she's always permaban, but
Mhm.
I heard that she is very strong, and we've seen her a few times in this tourney, right?
Yeah, I believe we've already seen Ivy from Nobody, I think. I remember seeing an Ivy in UGCN's first match. Actually, I remember seeing two Ivies that match, both from UGCN and their opponent. So, Ivy has been played a little bit in this tourney so far.
hmm I'm excited to see nobody play some more of her. Since every Ivy plays a little differently, we could get to see nobody's Ivy style, whether they focus on map control or securing the downs.
Yeah, definitely. I think Ivy is such a expressive hunter. You have so many ways that you can play her. You always have a lot of options as far as decision making goes. And Ivy is a really difficult hunter to play, but the skill expression is through the roof. So I know that nobody is really experienced with the Ivy. I think we can see some potentially very quality Ivy gameplay here. It'll be interesting to see if
Mhm.
GSL is actually prepared for it.
GSL does need a 3 escape to tie out this round, right?
To no, they only need a draw if they want to draw the round.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, I think a draw would be a very good outcome for GSL here, so they're most likely going to be pushing for that here.
hmm
Oh, nobody definitely going to be playing more aggressively for a win. And Ivy is one of the best hunters at getting wins. She's one of the, I think she's the hunter with the most win potential in this meta. So she can be difficult to play, but when she gets going, she's really hard to stop. You have to be careful about not letting her get too much momentum.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Once a few people start getting injured, everything starts going to bits. And it would be good for nobody to be able to secure the win first round.
Hmm. Yeah, that would be a great result for MPH. Definitely, you really want to get a lead in the first round. That can help take a lot of pressure off of your players because when you fall behind early on in the match, there's a lot of pressure to not just like, win, but win by a lot to make up for those points. And if GSL fall behind in points, they're definitely going to be feeling that pressure. So they really want to secure this draw, and nobody really wants to get that win here so that his team can kind of take a breather and play maybe more conservatively in the second round.
Definitely, especially since the more pressure you have, usually the more difficult it is to rise to that pressure. So right now, if we'll see how these teams rise to their individual pressures.
Hmm. Yeah, definitely. I am looking forward to seeing what kind of comp we see from GSL. Against Ivy, it's just difficult, but some support can really help. And I think we see a ton of like coordinator and IVL early round against Ivy. I don't remember exactly what they like playing, but it's something along those lines. And some support, maybe like a dancer on arms can be good. Some harassment like an antiquarian can also help. Maybe something even like a batter. If GSL have something. Oh wait, no, never mind. I'm talking about Ivy. I don't know what I'm talking about, but yeah. Some support could really help them out here. Maybe extend their first kite.
hmm It looks like GSL too, they play a lot of stunners.
They play auto what?
Oh, stunners, for example, like Pearl, it looks like they have right now on their profile the 36th coordinator.
Ooh, yeah, coordinator really good right now. Teams love picking coordinator early on in the first round. So I think we could definitely see a coordinator pick from GSL. Just a really annoying hunter, or really annoying for hunters to deal with because, you take the gunshot, that gives a lot of distance. Ivy maybe doesn't care as much about it, neither does Opera, but it can still get that little amount of distance that survivors need to extend their kite. In an endgame, it can actually be a really big deal. So, board is annoying.
For sure, especially since those rebound kites are so deadly, like we saw in the previous match where Sear's final kite really secured the draw.
Mhm. Yeah, definitely. GSL are looking for a long kite here. So maybe we'll see some strong kiters like we saw Acrobat last time. Maybe something like a Patient. We could see some stuff like Puppeteer as well. Or maybe they'll go for the heavier support route, like you said, with those stunners. Maybe something like Coordinator. You could see maybe Prospector. I think Prospector is a little bit better against Ivy. So definitely some options here, and we are going to be getting into the picks and bans shortly.
Mhm.
Mm, ooh. Really interesting bans here, Psychologist and Acrobat first. I don't think you see that very often.
Acrobat might have been a specialty band since one of the survivors on GSL is a past S acrobat. But psychologists, maybe, like you said before, they want to go for the pick down in order to go for more.
Yeah, multi-hit characters are a really big pain for Ivy because she really likes just getting one scare in a blink, or maybe two scares, but even two scares takes a lot of time because you have to wait out that entire leech cooldown. So having to get 3 hits on a survivor is a pretty tall order. It's similar to Dream Witch, so definitely not someone you want to see. And it is also going to be Lawyer and Perfumer, really unorthodox picks from GSL here.
I'm wondering maybe if one of them specializes in perfumer and we're going to see that perfumer shine. Is Lawyer still meta?
His lawyer, kind of. He struggles a little too much with opera, and I feel like he doesn't have too many tools to deal with an Ivy either. But maybe I think he's just kind of worse than like Prisoner right now. Actually, Prisoner is much more popular than him.
Oh, wow. Nobody mirroring the first officer third ban and GSL picking Gravekeeper as a response to that.
hmm Yeah, we have been seeing Gravekeeper more often, although from what I've seen in IVL, teams only really pick Gravekeeper late round once FL and Merc aren't really available. And it seems that GSL actually prefer Gravekeeper over Mercenary, which is interesting. And then after the Seer ban, it's going to be that Coordinator, like you mentioned, the really strong stun from her gun. So they are going to have some support as well here going into this match.
It looks like a pretty stable team with every survivor being able to take on that first kite. I'm curious, what sort of advantages do you think Gravekeeper would provide in contrast to Mercenary?
Well, he eats hits, so Gravekeeper can shovel when he's going into the Hunter. And if the Hunter wants to injure him, they kind of have to wait for him to get out of the shovel. So he can get like potentially 4 shovels in a match, which can make it kind of difficult to chase him if you're a Hunter, that struggles with getting a lot of hits. So usually he doesn't get chased, and he's pretty consistent at making rescues too, so.
That's fair. I feel like against Ivy, this sort of team, it could work.
Mhm. Yeah, I'm interested to see how the perfumer works out actually because you really don't see perfumer very often. I feel like she's more of a opera counter pick than an Ivy counter pick. Maybe she could work against Ivy, but she can't activate her perfume while she's stunned by Ivy, so that could actually end up working against her. And we are going to see the Ivy lock here from nobody, so it's definitely going to be an Ivy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, what you said is true. Perfumer might be very difficult to kite Ivy with, since Ivy does counter her. And Lawyer.
Yeah, I think and Lawyer is going to be at Factory. Perfumer is going to be at Deep Ruins. We do see Perfumers on Flywheel, Cord and Lawyer are on Broken Windows, and Grave is on Tide. Flywheel is really good against Ivy, very strong. Broken Windows is solid as well. Lawyer can definitely get distance, and so can Coordinator. Um, and it looks like Ivy is going to be spawning between the Grave and the Perfumer, so maybe we'll see Perfumer get chased here.
This is a very interesting spawn that they spread out like this. It looked like nobody tried to sort of guess where their chase target was, and hopefully nobody guessed correctly.
Yeah, definitely. I don't think nobody really plans on going for like Gravekeeper probably, so really Perfumer is gonna be his main option here. Unless he wants to walk all the way towards Factory, which maybe he wants to go for a lawyer, which could work. So that's another option here. But probably I think Perfumer is gonna struggle a little bit against Ivy just because once she gets stunned, she can't use her item. And I really think that's gonna make things hard for her. But maybe she'll be able to kite a while, and if they can get a long kite, then GSL might be able to secure a draw or a win.
Maybe she'll be able to perfume before the big stacks accumulate all at once, and then perfume back to reduce her stacks.
Yeah, if she can use her perfumes to early to dodge the Ivy and loosen fear, that would be a really helpful technique. And that could definitely work out here. But getting into the match, it looks like, let's see, nobody is going to be sending the Yithian towards Shack and is sending Maid Body towards Perfumer, it looks like.
Oh wow, so going for that cipher pressure, it seems like.
hmm Yeah, I think pressuring the Cypher early is really smart. Gravekeeper is going to have a hard time decoding that Cypher, actually. And so, as we can see, like, Gravekeeper just can't decode. And nobody's able to get close to the Perfumer while that happens. So, really great Cypher pressure here from nobody.
And it looks like the perfumer's going to rotate towards Gravekeeper Cipher and the stone.
Yeah, we're probably going to see a scare and a teleport here from nobody. Gets the scare off and teleports closer. Perfumer already at 60 fear. This is pretty risky situation for Perfumer here.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Nobody's going to be careful about using his scare early in case she uses a perfumer just in time. And there is the perfume, so nobody has to wait out for this perfume before he actually goes for the scare.
It looks like Lawyer is no longer in Factory too, so already rotated out. Good communication from the survivors.
And really fantastic palette slam from that perfumer, forcing the blink out. Nobody had to use the 100 fear and the blink for that first hit, which is going to buy perfumer a lot of time. Nobody can't teleport back to her either. That was a really great play from perfumer, and that's buying a lot of time for these survivors now. He's gonna have to get this second hit on her without blink.
Mm-hmm. Great job from Perfumer. Now it looks like the ciphers have a lot of good progress on them, and Perfumer still has a lot of time since they don't have a lot of stacks on them yet.
Yeah. Really nicely played by nobody using that stone that he had already left there. Perfumer is going to be using... Oh, great dodge! Dodging the scare with that perfume. But unfortunately, already at 77 fear, nobody should be getting this down shortly. However, almost 3 ciphers have finished. So that is a really great kite from this perfumer. Wow, good
Very
read.
good kite from the Perfumer and good down from nobody.
Mm-hmm. And it is going to be a pause from GSL's side as well. Kind of unexpected. It's pretty late into the match. Maybe we're having some lag on the side of GSL. Hopefully we can get this sorted out shortly. However, I would say that that early game was really good for GSL. So this is definitely what they were looking for here.
So far, only Perfumer has taken damage, and everyone else is still at full items. They're definitely in a very strong position to go for something in endgame.
Yeah, they do still have that gun, which could potentially work for a really long rebound on this Perfumer. The only issue is Ivy is one hit away from full presence because of Insolence, so that is something you have to watch out for. Once that Insolence kicks in, Ivy's going to be really strong. But they have Cypher progress here. So they are missing like two whole ciphers, which could be an issue. But with a long rebound, they can definitely finish those ciphers in time potentially for a four-man endgame.
It looks like hopefully Graves cipher is the one at 86%, and then once they finish that cipher, as long as Perfumer can rebound kite, they're on a good track.
Mhm. Yeah, definitely Perfumer has some options here. I think without any items, Perfumer is going to struggle to rebound if she doesn't get any support. So I think it's going to be important to see that Coordinator come in. If Coordinator can use her gun and maybe Perfumer can make some distance, that would help. But it might not be enough for a rebound. Actually, their ciphers are they're kind of slow here, given that Perfumer has no items left. So it's going to be difficult to actually make a rebound here, but they might still be able to secure a draw here, especially if they use the gun effectively.
Oh yeah, that's true. Now that you bring it up, Perfumer doesn't have anything to kite with, so she would be rock kiting. And unlike the previous match which had the Antiquarian, they don't have a supporter here.
Yeah, I mean, we saw just how strong MPH's Antiquarian was. Really able to buy a lot of time and stun the Hunter repeatedly, and it almost actually led to a 3 escape. So, like, someone like an Antiquarian might have helped here. Unfortunately, no option like that for GSL, and we are going to be resuming here. Looks like Gravekeeper is actually already in the area, so maybe potentially early rescue. I mean, Pearl got into her shovel very early there. So going to be interesting to see if they go for the rescue soon.
But it's also possible that they were lagging and accidentally clicked the shovel, which might have been why they paused.
Yeah, that could have happened as well. It looks like the Gravekeeper is going to get out of the shovel, and they have to be careful. Great rescue from Gravekeeper. However, Perf is going to get farmed, and that's going to be a free hit as well. But they get the tide off, and if they can save the gun for the second rescue, they might still be able to secure a draw here with a rebound.
That's true. Coordinator trying to make progress on that
Oh,
cipher, but the stone is getting really in her way. It's uncertain if she'll be able to finish her cipher in time before she has to go for the rescue, or if they'll have to have someone else finish it for her.
yeah, and nobody is doing his best to pressure these ciphers, but we can see they really are very far. Gravekeeper and Coordinator are about to pop their ciphers here, and Lawyer's cipher's pretty close. So with a gun, they definitely can get a three-man endgame here. So it's looking unlikely for nobody to get a win in this match. If they play their endgame really well, they can still draw, but it's going to be a little bit difficult. However, Lawyer can actually pop the cipher.
Oh, the cipher wasn't primed. That
Yeah, the
might
cipher. Oh, excuse me.
It looks like nobody pressuring the cipher right now with the main body while trying to maybe still keep track of the perfumer with the other body.
Yeah, interesting. Gravekeeper is also coming in to pressure the Cypher here. Nobody does kind of have to commit to one of them. Nobody's putting his Yithian on the gate there to prep for endgame, and he also has Blink up, so he has some options here, but he isn't going to be able to stop this Cypher from finishing, unfortunately. He wasn't able to down Lawyer. Looks like Lawyer might actually just pop the Cypher here.
Hmm. A good choice to pop probably to not allow nobody to continue setting up or think of another solution and forcing them to think on their feet right now.
Mhm. And now nobody is actually immediately going to leech the gate and teleport. He's also leaving his Yithian near the lawyer. And that's going to be the blink, but Perfumer has a watch. She's got a pocket watch, so nobody's not going to be able to get this down immediately. Fantastic play from the Perfumer.
Oh, wow, yeah, the amount of time that they stalled on the cipher.
Ooh, and the gun. Yeah, great gunshot from the survivors here. Nobody's actually having a lot of trouble converting in this endgame. However, he will be able to pressure this cipher. Massive.
Mhm. Nobody attention divided between two gates, one of them at 50%, one of them just barely getting started.
Mhm. Yeah, and that was a great play by nobody actually getting the hit on the lawyer through the window. Gravekeeper did try to body block, but unfortunately wasn't able to. And as we can see, neither gate is open yet. Lawyer is going to be going on the chair. However, nobody is really far from that gate. We'll see. They might actually be able to pick up the Gravekeeper, though, so this might still be a draw here. Gravekeeper doesn't get scared, though. At 99 fear, can Gravekeeper actually use his shovel to get to the gate? Oh, that's lag. That's a lot of lag. Wow.
Oh, very unfortunate that Gravekeeper lags there. Are we seeing a teleport back as the survivors rescue the lawyer?
Mhm. Yeah, that was a great play by the survivors to get the rescue off. Nobody's still having some trouble, especially since his detention is about to run out here. Not able to
Mhm.
get that scare on the perfumer either, which means his detention is gonna end, and two survivors are at full health, including this perfumer. And one of the gates is open already as well, so nobody is gonna have to chair Gravekeeper here.
Very unfortunate that detention had to run out since Perfume was so close, and the gate is also open on the side where he chaired.
Yeah, that gate's gonna be open, and Lawyer is opening back gate as well. Coordinator might be considering pressuring a save, but it looks like she is just gonna leave the exit gate, and Lawyer is gonna be leaving his as well. So that's actually gonna be a 3 escape for GSL survivors. Really well played to them here.
Mm-hmm. Very good coordination from GSL, not giving up any pressure to the Ivy.
Mhm. Yeah, absolutely. I think the perfumer kite was really good, and it seemed like nobody still could have secured a draw with his mid game, but unfortunately the Cypher Rush was too fast. The GSL's Cypher Rush really fast, and they finished all their ciphers before nobody could secure the down on that perfumer, and it did end up being a 4-man endgame, which is really difficult for Ivy, even with her tools. So very well played there from GSL.
During the end game too, it looked like Ivy had some opportunities, but the survivors were very good in making sure that they didn't go too fast towards the gate and keeping each other safe instead.
Mhm. Yeah, I think they played that endgame smart, going for the rescue on the survivor chair near backgate was also smart. And they were really able to wait out detention so they would have more options, and nobody was kind of struggling there. I'm surprised he actually wasn't able to get the down on the lawyer fast enough. I thought maybe he could have blinked lawyer and chaired him before he went to the gate, but unfortunately he wasn't quite able to do that.
hmm And that looks like it'll be setting GSL in the lead for round one.
Mhm. Yeah, so like we said, a lead can be difficult to come back from. A lot of pressure on MPH now here. So this is going to be a little bit difficult for them as we head into map pick. I'm going to check if we know what the map is. I'm not sure what the map ban and pick is. Okay, we are going to be doing map ban and pick soon, so we will update you on what these teams select here. Okay. I believe GSL gets map pick this round. Okay, so it is going to be GSL's map pick. Yeah, having map pick after winning on your opponent's map pick is a really big advantage for GSL. Now they can pick a map that their hunter is going to be comfortable on, and hopefully their survivors will be able to keep it up. So this might be a really good sign for GSL here, and MPH is going to have to work pretty hard to secure a secure a win here in this round on their opponent's map pick.
Either through their hunter or their survivors.
Mhm. Yeah, and it is going to be a hospital ban from MPH, and GSL actually end up picking Moonlit, which I don't know if that's allowed because, yeah, Moonlit was already banned. So Lolzy is going to correct them. Apparently, they don't understand the rules of this tournament, unfortunately. Um, so we're gonna have some delay here as GSL figure out a different map. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You guys, yeah, gotta read the rule book. Oh man, I mean, I've already commentated a bunch of matchups, so like I know how the rules work. It's a little harder if you haven't been watching the matches, but very unfortunate here from GSL.
Actually, to be honest, I didn't know that the maps carried over as well. Very unfortunate that the survivors and hunters of GSL have now revealed what kind of map they might be picking in round 3 before they can pick it.
Yeah, I mean, it is surprising that they didn't want to play on Moonlit round one, but did in round two. I believe Moonlit is a solid map for BQ. Maybe Femdrake has a specific is a specific hunter that they want to play on Moonlit that isn't BQ. Maybe something like an opera singer. I believe actually Femdrake said something in chat about. I swear I saw something that Femdrake. Okay, yeah. I don't know. I think Femdrake's going to be playing Ivy or Opera Singer here. And it is going to be a Leo's pick, so they do end up landing on Leo's now.
Oh, that is a very tough map for a lot of hunters since they do have the big factory where you can go upstairs and get a lot of support in. So I'm wondering what sort of hunter they have in mind for Leos that can counter that.
Yeah, I mean Leo's is pretty difficult for most hunters, I would say. The factory area is just super hard to chase in. And a lot of hunters struggle a lot. So Leo's tends to be pretty uncommon. At least it was, but Opera is very good on Leo's actually. And she just has some really convenient shadow placements. So I think lately there's been a resurgence of Leo round one for hunters to pick Opera on, and maybe GSL are planning on having an opera singer from Femdrake come out for round two on Leos.
Oh yeah, that's true. Leos is definitely one of the favorite maps of Opera since there's so many tiny places where they can jump.
Mhm. Yeah, like she can make up distance really quickly in Factory because she has some solid shadows. And in the rest of the map too, she just has a lot of good shadows. There are a lot of obstacles on Leos. So there aren't that many open spaces, which means she's always moving around really quickly and she's always dashing. So I think an opera singer might be coming out from Femdrake. And I believe nobody also has an opera singer. So it could also be an opera singer from nobody.
I wonder if the survivors of either teams are aware that the other hunter plays Opera and if they'll prepare for it.
Yeah, we also do know that nobody plays Hermit. It looks like nobody is going to be hunting first, so nobody is a well-known Hermit main. Always been very, very good at Hermit. And I think that's like a specialty hunter that's really, really good if the survivors aren't super prepared for it. And if survivors aren't like totally ready, it's just so easy to fall apart against a Hermit. So we could also see some Hermit action here in the second round, especially since nobody really wants to get a 4 kill.
hmm That's a good point. And I also in IVT see a lot of hermits in Leo's memory.
Mm. Did you say in IVS?
Oh, probably.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't actually been watching IVS, but I'm sure they have quite a few Hermit mains. I probably should actually. There are some really good teams playing in IVS, I think, so really, really strong region over there. Would be good, worth studying. But yeah, I mean, Hermit isn't like quite as popular anymore. But if Survivor or if hunters really want a win and they feel comfortable with Hermit, it's a strong all or nothing hunter that can realistically win if you play really well. So could be a Hermit.
It's also a very risky character, though, since it's
Mm.
easier to force escape a hermit because of the shared damage at the gate. So, wondering if nobody is willing to take this risk.
Yeah, it's a good point. Hermit does struggle because he has to get a lot of hits in, and if the survivors support well, and if they take strong routes, Hermit can really have trouble getting those hits because he only has those stuns of his, and if they're constantly breaking line of sight, if they're getting a lot of distance with support, Hermit's gonna have a slow early game, and even though his end game is so strong, you don't want to have a really slow early game. That's going to make things difficult, and Hermit can easily lose. So it really is just dependent on whether or not Hermit like gets a lot of hits in the early game, and how well that goes for them.
Unfortunately, it doesn't look like we'll be seeing a hermit this time, though, since
Ooh.
they did ban nobody probably aware of the specialty hunter.
Hmm. Yeah, that's a good point. I was yapping and I did not see that. But looking at these bans here, Priestess, Seer, and FO from Nobody, and right now GSL have a psychologist, an acrobat, and a coordinator, so really strong comp here.
Nobody banning out all of those bulky characters that they might use to possibly go for another 3 escape board that will be difficult to catch. It looks like it's pretty popular to ban first officer instead of mercenary these days.
Yeah, I guess so. Some hunters do prefer seeing mercenary to FO, and I guess nobody just doesn't want to deal with it. He's also gonna ban that cheerleader, who is a really good support. Slightly underrated, I would say, lately. She doesn't get played as much, but I still think she's really good, and nobody clearly doesn't want to play against it.
She can be super annoying to catch, especially on Leos, where usually one of the only ways to catch people in factory is to go through a long space, but cheerleader can just skip that space entirely.
Yeah, that's a really good point. However, even so, chasing Merc can still be difficult. Maybe nobody would rather chase like a coordinator or a psychologist here. Although it kind of depends. I think Ivy might struggle a little bit with this comp just because there aren't any easy chases for Ivy. So maybe Opera would be better. And if it isn't Opera, chasing like a psychologist or a coordinator wouldn't actually be too bad here.
It does look like a pretty opera counter team, though.
Hmm. Yeah, it's not the easiest team for Opera. Acrobat's always good, and then Cord has her gun, which can be annoying. And Psychologist does take 3 hits. But Opera is also really good. So if you play Opera on Leos and you hit all your dashes, even against a comp like this, you can still draw or win if you play well enough and if you get your mind games. So it's an option if nobody feels very confident in his Opera.
For sure. I wonder what kind of persona Toxic is.
Oh yeah, Toxic has, it seemed, named his persona build after himself. So very interesting strategy there. We are going to be getting into the persona build shortly. Once the hunter finishes adjusting their talents and traits, we'll be getting into the area select, and it will be interesting to see who they put at factory. Probably psychologist. I think she's the weakest chase here.
Interesting to see that they've chosen to play opera again, looking for a rematch to show off their opera. Oh,
Yeah.
sorry, not opera shadow. My bad.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that's a good point here. And it looks like GSL are going to be going for that same strategy, not actually taking factory, but instead spreading out. Also, really interesting is that Cord has tied and borrowed time, which isn't common at all, really, because Cord really struggles to kite without a kiting build. Usually, you either see Cord with just broken windows or a suicide build. So this could be an issue for them if Cord does get chased, and it looks like nobody might actually be thinking about chasing the coordinator. Also has psychologist as an option, so I think either of these are potentially viable for nobody.
That's true. Coordinator is in a pretty trapped corner too, so maybe she'll have to rotate out to avoid getting quick downs.
Yeah, something to be careful about. I do think if nobody ends up chasing coordinator, she could rotate to factory, which could be a lot of trouble, especially if he uses that gun. If she uses the gun to rotate to factory, it could end up being a long kite. On the other hand, psychologist also takes 3 hits. So I feel like either of these is going to be a little bit of a struggle, but just because Cord doesn't have any kiting build, I think she's probably going to be the easiest chase here, and we'll see if nobody agrees with that, and if he decides to actually go for her first.
Hmm.
All right, we are going to be getting into this match. It's going to be the first half of the second round here, GSL versus MPH, and it looks like nobody is sending his Yithian towards the psychologist and main body towards coordinator, so potentially looking at a cord chase here.
It could also be
Ooh.
possible that, oh, chasing the psychologist.
Yeah, so it is going to be the psychologist chase instead here. And did get the scare successfully, which means psychologist is already at 60 fear. So she does die instantly to the automatic scare from the main body. But he gets a free hit, just a really good mind game, which means the first 2 hits are going to be very fast on the psychologist. This is a really good early game from nobody. Oh,
Hmm.
unfortunately misses the follow-up scare. He would have had her at 40 fear if he hit that. That's a shame.
Alternating towards coordinator cipher 2, which is going to be disturbed. Maybe coordinator will shoot that gun, but now the ciphers are pretty delayed for psychologist being only 1 hit left.
Yeah, nobody actually is going to be just getting a free hit on the coordinator here. And that's actually a really big help. So he's going to be getting full presence once he downs this psychologist, and he has an extra injury. That's the blink, and that was a very not good early game for these survivors. Full presence already, and psychologist has no stress. This is a lot of momentum for nobody. He could be looking at a 4 kill here.
Hmm. Nobody putting a lot of pressure on the survivors' movements right now, as two of the survivors that can rescue are really far away. So I'm not sure if they'll make it in time. What do you think?
Mhm. Yeah, Merc is going to be coming in. However, it's going to be really close actually. Nobody is going to be going for some scares here. I think that was before half. It was really close, but nobody was successfully able to get the hit on the Merc. And we'll have to see whether Psychologist can do a rebound, but nobody does have full presence, so it's not very likely.
The survivors' resources are looking pretty low too, since Mercenary had to use all elbow pads to get to that sharing time.
Yeah, that's a great point. Merc now has no items. And Cord still has her gun, but still, Merc having no items is a really big issue, especially because Ivy can just kind of teleport to him whenever she wants and hit him for free. That extra injury on the coordinator as well is really hurting these survivors. They're going to be doing a full reset maybe, but nobody's actually going to find them healing, so that's going to buy him some time as well.
Nobody doing great in knowing where everyone is and making sure that they don't have any
Oh, this
movement
is
speed.
tough. Oh, he made it. Yeah, that was a fantastic rescue from the acrobat. I was actually really sure he was going to get stuffed there, but somehow managed to make it in time. Really well played by the acrobat.
Mm-hmm. Great job, and now we'll be seeing if psychologist Oh, psychologist will be going now.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, for psychologists, there's just nothing you can do with a full presence Ivy. Very, very little that you can do against that, especially because she has no items. They were able to fully reset Merc and Coordinator, which is good, but Acrobat's still injured, and look at how slow their ciphers are. They're missing like two entire ciphers pretty much, which is a really big problem, especially because nobody's full presence is up in 10 seconds. So he might actually just be going for. Looks like he is going to be chasing this injured Acrobat, actually.
And he can bleed Acrobat out since Acrobat used self-heal.
Mhm. Ooh. Whoa.
Yeah.
Wow. That was actually a pretty big misstep from nobody. Missing the swing and then the flywheel actually forced him to use Blink, and he definitely could have gotten that without Blink. So unfortunately, no Blink for nobody. But he still has so much momentum here that it's going to be difficult for the survivors to come back. They do still have a gun though, so maybe if they use the gun, Acrobat could do a long rebound, and that could maybe buy some time for the Cyphers to finish.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, hits the chair. And this is going to be a free gunshot for Coordinator.
Beautiful rescue from Coordinator.
Yeah, hitting the chair there is so unfortunate for nobody. He definitely really needed an injury on Cord. Between the wasted blink and that chair hit, actually, nobody's kind of losing his momentum right now. The survivors might actually be able to salvage a draw out of this. Nobody is going to be going towards that cipher. But Merc is behind a pallet, so nobody can't get the hit on him.
Mm-hmm. Very smart of the Merc waiting behind the pallet to not give the free hit, to not give nobody more momentum, and slowly tugging it back.
Yeah, just unfortunate that Merc actually ran out into the open. Good job not getting terror shocked there. That would have made this situation much worse for GSL. But a free hit is unfortunate, and nobody kind of getting a foothold here. Maybe if he could get, he's gonna just leech the cord and pressure that cipher. Now it looks like he's gonna be going for the down on Mercenary.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that is gonna be the full presence and the scare, which means Merc is gonna be injured here. However, the ciphers are catching up. It's going to be really interesting to see how they play this endgame. Nobody can still get a 4 kill, but he has to play a pretty airtight endgame here. If he can pressure the coordinator who's decoding maybe, or just switch targets to the acrobat, that might help him out a lot.
It looks like, unfortunately, acrobats seem to have crows, so
Yeah.
nobody able to spot out the easier target who's on half health. Which means
Mhm.
that if Pearl goes to rescue, no one will be doing the last cipher.
Yeah, and they're so far away from this chair. I mean, Merc is gonna, take a while to die, and now Acrobat is gonna be getting on the cipher, but he dies instantly to that full presence here. And yeah, now nobody's going to head back to the chair. Mercenary is going to be after half here. There's no way that Cord is going to get this before half. So now this is looking like a really dominant position for nobody. Unfortunately, yeah, Acrobat just wasn't able to get a strong hiding position there, and Cord was pretty late. And now they've kind of lost all their momentum. It is looking like a 4 kill here. We'll see nobody just decides to smack the coordinator and probably is going to continue chasing the Merc here.
And Acrobat has no self heal, so he can't get up to finish that cipher, and nobody definitely knows that.
hmm Yeah, that's also a really good point. Now Merc does go down, and all nobody has to do is go back for the coordinator and chair her, and that is going to wrap up this match here. So this is actually going to be a 4 kill here for nobody's Ivy. Really well played there to nobody.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just think that that early game for nobody was just too strong, unfortunately. Psychologist gave two free hits really quickly, and Coordinator also gave up a free hit. And Psychologist didn't really kite that long, so I think he had like full presence on his first chair and an extra injury, which is just overwhelming momentum. And even though he lost a little bit of that momentum later in the game with using that blink and with an unfortunate chair hit, He still was able to secure the 4 kill here. Now he's just kind of heading in between survivors. He did share the coordinator. Now he should be. Merc is gonna pick up, so he's gonna get blinked here probably. Not even gets hit through the window. Well played from nobody there. He's saving his blink, I guess, for the next game. And now that Merc has no self-heal, nobody is going to be looking. I suppose for Acrobat, maybe he'll bleed them out for fun, but we should be seeing this match end shortly.
It looks like acrobats crawling towards the dungeon.
Yeah, he's going to try to make something happen, but I don't think it's meant to be here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Once nobody shares Merc, he is going to be able to... Oh, Merc was dead on share, but it didn't end up mattering. Yeah, and that is going to be the surrender. Very well played to nobody. Congratulations. And now MPH might be coming back into this game here. There's a lot of pressure on Femdrake here. And MPH's survivors here to see if they can actually secure the win in this second round.
A great comeback from nobody, punishing the survivors for not banning the Ivy from the previous round.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, I think they were pretty confident about the Ivy because of the great performance they had in the first round, which was a big part of that was due to the really long psychologist kite. Unfortunately, I'm not sure what happened, but or because of the perfumer kite in the first round, but in the second round they didn't have a perfumer, and psychologist ended up getting caught in the open, gave a free hit due to a mind game, and then immediately gave another free hit to the scare. Well, not a free hit, but got scared for the second hit. Nobody just had a really perfect first couple hits on that psychologist, so. If those didn't go so well, nobody would have struggled a lot more that game, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, it looks like RKDTM is playing Survivor for MPH here. Interesting. We'll have to see how that works out for them. Just kidding. These survivors should be filling in shortly, and pretty soon we'll be getting into the second half. What do you think we might see from Fendrake's Hunter side here?
To be honest, I'm not sure. I don't really know what kind of characters Femdrake plays, but it looks like they're a pretty experienced hunter from their profile. 97% win rate's pretty scary, so I'm sure they have a lot up their sleeve.
Yeah, I'm gonna see if maybe I can find out. I'm not sure if GSL's other tournament match is on YouTube. It doesn't look like it is, unfortunately. I don't know when these VODs are getting uploaded, but it seems we don't actually have that. I don't really remember what GSL played or what Femdrake played last time. I think she played like Geisha or something. Oh, they are? Oh yeah, I bet you should definitely link that. I did not know that. That's a good point. Wait, can they hear you when you talk? Oh, okay, yeah. So if you guys were wondering, Lolzy did say that the VODs are uploaded to his second channel. Gotta look out for that if you guys want to rewatch any of these matches or watch the ones that were streamed on Twitch. But yeah, I think Femdrake does only play female hunters. Very lucky for her that the two good hunters right now are girls. I think we could see maybe an Opera or an Ivy here. I think if Femdrake is comfortable with Opera, I think that would be a really great option for her. Oh, bet. Well, I'll have to look at that. I did not know you had a second channel. Um, oh, and we can actually see GSL's last match. Let me stalk this real quickly. Okay, so Femdrake played Opera round 2. And then round 3 she played Opera again. So, uh, go figure. think Femdrake definitely very comfortable with the Opera, so an Opera's not bad at all on Leos, especially since Femdrake does need a 4 kill here. I think an Opera would be a pretty good pick for her.
Mm-hmm.
So we
Vendrake.
are. Oh, sorry. Excuse
Oh,
me.
sorry. And then, like you said, Vendrake is under a pretty decent amount of pressure to 4K to maintain the tie, so they have a lead run going into round 3.
Yeah, that's a good point. If Femdrake can secure a 4 kill, they're still gonna have their lead, and that means that not only do MPH have to win the third round, but they have to win by enough points that they take back the point lead. So, and it looks like GSL are actually not going to be respect banning the BQ. They're going to be going for that Opera. They know that Opera has much more win potential than BQ, so they're just going to allow Femdrake to play BQ again here. No Priestess or Toy Merchant available, but they could still maybe pick some of those options like Antiquarian that really helped them out against the BQ.
Mm-hmm. It looked like last round with their survivors, they were really going for that 3 out with Antiquaria not wanting to go through the gate. So this round, I wonder
Yeah,
if they'll be going for the same thing or if they'll be maintaining a tie.
Yeah, and it does look like we're going to be seeing an Acrobat and a Puppeteer. Pretty consistent picks, I think. Acrobat and Puppeteer, both very strong hiders that you don't really want to chase. And they both can definitely succeed against BQ. I think MPH definitely expecting a BQ here, so they're going to be picking survivors who are strong against her.
Mm-hmm. It looked like we were going to see an Enchantress for a moment, but unfortunately that was not the case.
I don't think Enchantress is very good. Probably the second worst survivor in the game. Maybe she's better than Mind's Eye, but yeah. For Enchantress, it doesn't look like MPH want to pick her, unfortunately, so maybe some other time we'll get to see Enchantress, but very sad here. And it looks like Psychologist is actually going to be banned by Femdrake. Doesn't want to have to deal with that 3-hit character. GSL can still pick maybe someone like Patient or maybe some support. Like, they don't have an Antiquarian yet. They could go that. Or Barmaid here, kind of a replacement for Psychologist. Gonna have
Mm-hmm.
2 free heals there with that Barmaid, so I think Barmaid is definitely a really good pick here for them.
Definitely, I agree. And
Oh.
2 rescuers, making sure that the rescues are stable and that Femdrake won't get any momentum from camping.
Yeah, I also totally forgot that I totally forgot Auntie was global banned, so that's why they didn't pick her. I'm sure they would have picked Auntie if they had her, but no dice there. I think Barmaid's still really good though. Can maybe kite a BQ. I think Barmaid's gonna definitely be the chase here for BQ. So a lot of pressure on Father Milk to do a long kite, and that is why it looks like they put him on a Sui build.
Mm-hmm. It looks like Puppeteer also has broken windows, not tied, so it's probably assumed that Sinnoh will be the one carrying Tide as the designated rescuer.
Yeah, we are going to be waiting until we proceed to area select here for to see these to see what the builds look like. And we are still waiting. Survivors haven't actually selected their talents and traits. So once we finish that, we'll get to see the Hunter from Femdrake. I think it's pretty safe to say it'll be a BQ. I can't really imagine Femdrake picking someone else here. I think oh, they actually go Sculptor though.
Oh wow, I haven't seen Sculptor in a long time.
Yeah, Sculptor is a difficult hunter to play and can be inconsistent. It is a little bit surprising to see Femdrake go for the Sculptor instead of the BQ, but I suppose they know that BQ is more of a draw hunter and they need a 4 kill, so they're going for that risky pick that has more win potential.
That's a good point.
Mhm,
Since even if BQ managed to get a 3K, it might be harder for her to get that last survivor.
mhm. Yeah, BQ can struggle a little bit without a lot of map pressure and without a camp. So even if she has a strong early game, survivors can still draw things out. But yeah, looking at these builds, it is going to be Broken Windows on Acro and Puppeteer, Tide on FO, and then Barmaid is going to be getting the Suicide build as well as Factory to kite with. I really think Sculptor definitely wants to chase Barmaid, but it's going to be very difficult. On the other hand, though, none of these other survivors are great options for Sculptor. So Femdrake might have some trouble selecting a first chase here.
That's true. It does look like Fendrick will spawn between First Officer, Puppeteer, and Barmaid. So out of these, do you think it would be more viable to chase First Officer, Barmaid, or to go straight through the middle to maybe look for Puppeteer or Acrobat?
I don't think there's any world where chasing FO goes well. He's just going to be able to use his watches really well. I mean, either FO uses both watches and just kites three ciphers, or maybe they save a watch. It would definitely be best if FO just used both of his watches and then they sold. But I think maybe Barmaid at Factory is going to be hard to chase with a Sui build. But Puppeteer at middle isn't going to be much better. I think Puppeteer at middle would be the best chase, but it's most likely going to be Barmaid getting chased.
Mm-hmm. And we'll see if Femdrake will be able to get those sculptures at the windows and the palette to make sure Barmaid doesn't kite for too long.
Mhm. Yeah, that's a really good point. Now we are going to be loading into the match, and the Hunter does need a 4 kill. So a lot of pressure on the Hunter here. Good luck to both sides, and does look like Femdrake wants to chase that Barmaid at Factory.
But Barmaid pulling up right away, making sure to keep some distance, as much distance as possible from Femdrake so that they don't have as much space to put the statues.
Yeah, Femdrake did go for some pretty long-range statues there. Unfortunately, no luck with those. That would have been really great for Femdrake if she could have hit one there. Would have been a lot of momentum, but not quite able to make that happen. Barmaid, however, does get caught out by that statue. She doesn't get hit by the other one. Oh, but she gets hit behind the pallet and just goes down. Wow, I can't believe what just happened. Barmaid died instantly.
Yeah, that was a beautiful pushback statue from the sculptor. And it looked like for a moment that Barmaid would have a chance to escape after sculptor missed her hit on the statue, but I guess not.
Yeah, I was surprised. I thought Femdrake was being too greedy, but she managed to secure the mind game to get Barmaid behind the pallet. Definitely, I think Femdrake knows that they're so far behind, they have to play risky and go for those mind games, and it really paid off there, securing an instant down here. And it looks like we might see just a sell from these survivors. I don't think they want to rescue this.
Especially when their goal is just to not get 4K'd. It would definitely be a more safe option to sell, but it looks like Femdrake is aware of this and going out to pressure the survivors to try to maybe force one to come rescue or to get some damage in.
Yeah, I mean, this is really smart from Femdrake because they know that the survivors can't really make that rescue. No one's going to be able to go in, so Femdrake gets to start the chase on Acrobat super early. However, Acrobat's doing a great job of dodging these statues and using his walls effectively, so this could still be a long kite. However, Femdrake does have Blink, and that's a chip.
It looks like the link will be coming out and Proud Sense will be rotating up on top of Factory. Hopefully he doesn't go down in basement as well.
Yeah, it's a bit strange seeing Proud just go straight through a basement. However, great use of the firebomb to rotate away. Although still kiting on the basement, I think this is too risky. If Proud dies on basement, that's going to be an issue, and this is kind of close. I think Femdrake might just decide to push for basement here.
Looks like
Oh, it doesn't
Drake
look
is
like it.
keeping the struggle safe and not sharing in basement though.
Yeah. And now it looks like maybe Puppeteer is going to be coming in for the rescue. Or no, it looks like FO is going to be using the watch early here. Sculptor isn't quite at full presence, so FO should be able to make this rescue pretty safely. But once Sculptor gets to full presence, Acrobat is going to have a really hard time. There's a chip on the FO, wow. Wow, really close rescue there. And the double hit.
Good job for the first officer making sure to wait out those residue statues to not get stuck before the rescue and giving Proud Sensei a chance to rebound Kai.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it looks like Femdrake is actually going to be switching off of the Acrobat. Did already get a chip on the Puppeteer, which is good. And I think with full presence, Sculptor is able to chase the Puppeteer, I think. I'll have to see though. Really great dodge there from the Puppeteer. Not quite able to dodge that though. And that is going to be a hit on the Puppeteer, so already up to 3 chips now.
Beautiful statues from Fendrake this whole time. It looks at first like Fendrake was playing a hunter that they weren't as familiar with Be Cute, but they're definitely very skilled with Sculptor as well.
Yeah, it does look like FO ended up using their self-heal to finish this cipher, and the cipher is almost done. Honestly, I think we might see them just pop the ciphers here. I'm not sure it's worth it to go for a rescue with everyone injured. I think it would probably be advantageous to just pop the ciphers. I mean, Acrobat is coming in, but Acrobat's just going to get chipped out by the statues. They're not going to be able to make this rescue. That's the chip, and they just pop it and he gets downed. I think they should have just popped the ciphers. I don't think that was a very smart play, unfortunately.
Yeah, especially keeping in mind that what they need might not be a tie, but to just get a lead in this round, they need one person to get out. So they rescuing didn't necessarily work out for them. It looks like Cinna will be forcing the gate, trying to get Sculptor's attention off the Acrobat, so maybe Acrobat can self-heal and go for the rescue.
Yeah, Acrobat does still have self-heal, but FO does not. So there's going to be the self-heal from Acrobat, and it looks like actually Acrobat is going to be close enough to the chair to make the rescue. I think maybe it would have been smarter for Femdrake to chair Acrobat. Um, it should have been I think it was pretty dangerous to just slug Acrobat so close to the chair. And if they got Acrobat, if they chaired Acrobat, they would have had a guaranteed 3 kill at least. But now the survivors could maybe even draw. They're actually going to be chairing FO here, even though FO doesn't have self-heal, which is going to take a little bit of time as well. And yeah, the survivors are already on the gate. This could still be a 1 escape or a draw potentially.
It looks like the chisel isn't far enough to reach directly to the gate, but she did spot out the puppeteer.
Yeah, Puppeteer is going to be found here, but if Femdrake commits to the Puppeteer, Acrobat is going to be able to make another rescue on this FO, which is important to note. So the survivors are doing a really great job of keeping each other alive here. Despite like such a rough start, I think Femdrake needed to chair Acrobat, and because they didn't, they've just given the survivors such an opening here. Puppeteer does go down, and Femdrake will get the chair, but now FO's on the other gate, and there's no trump card from Sculptor, so this game might just get opened.
We'll see if she'll be able to maybe chip the survivors down as they're opening the gate, heading over, trying to make sure that they don't get it open, but the gate is open and it will be a draw from the survivors and the hunters.
Yeah, and that is gonna be the draw. So, I mean, just a honestly fantastic play from the survivors there in the end game. Really well played, and such a back and forth match. I didn't expect anything that happened in that match. But very well played to both sides, and congratulations to MPH securing a draw there, which is going to win them round two. So now they are going to be even in rounds.
And MPH will have the additional 2 point lead, possibly.
Hmm. Oh, I'm not sure. I think actually our main man BT is playing right now, so I think Lozy is handling the math. It looks like yeah, it was a MPH 5-0 GSL for round two. Okay, so MPH won round two 7-2, and I believe round one was uh what was round one?
Round one, there was a tie and I think a three escape.
A tie and a three escape, right? So it's what 10-8, I think. 10-7. Okay. Yeah, so the score is currently 10-7. MPH actually were able to get the point lead back. So that's a really great reversal from MPH there. Super well played. And I mean, that entire match was a roller coaster of emotions from the first down on the barmaid all the way to that end game, that three-man end game that was crazy, and the survivors somehow secured a draw. Um, yeah, really well played from the survivors. That was very close. Yeah, unfortunately, I think if Fembrick shared Acrobat, they would have gotten a 4 kill. So I think that one decision could have completely changed the outcome of the match. But now MPH are going to be able to secure themselves a win in the second round, and they might be able to bring this match back.
That's true. I think that a big factor behind Femdrake not sharing the Acrobat was specifically because they wanted the 4K instead of the 3K, and they didn't want uh, one person to get dungeon. But unfortunately, Acrobat got up too quickly. The person on chair didn't die fast enough, and two people got out.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, such an unexpected matchup. And now, even though, yeah, it is going to be 10-7, so MPH do have a point lead, which means GSL have to play really aggressively here. I think we are currently waiting on a map pick and ban. Let me see what's happened so far. And so, okay. Lolzy says GSL banned Chinatown and MPH get map pick. Femdrake is flexing that they used to be almost S-badged Sculptor. So everyone congratulate Femdrake for that in chat. And we are currently waiting on the captain for MPH to select the map here. There is gonna be no Chinatown. Wait, so for round three, I kind of forgot how it works. In round three, you can pick any map except the one that was just banned. And then, okay, so let's say here, since Chinatown was bad, could they actually pick Arms Factory, even though they already went? Okay, okay. So everything except Chinatown. Yeah, kind of is not that hard if you think about it for a little bit. So once you get used to it, yeah. So we'll have to see what MPH wanted here. Um, yeah, yeah, we'll have to see what kind of map pick we see. What kind of map tip pick do you think we could see here, though, Karen?
I remember before, GSL really wanted Moonlit, possibly for the opera singer, but I'm not sure what MPH would have in mind. Do you maybe have an idea of what hunter they're planning on picking out next, since it's more likely that Ivy will be banned this round?
Hmm. Yeah, and it is going to be an ever sleeping map pick from MPH here. Now that there are two hunter bans, for nobody at least, I think it's pretty safe to say that the Ivy and the Hermit are going to be getting banned. So nobody might still have Opera Singer. Maybe has something else up his sleeve. We're gonna have to see. And as for Femdrake, it looks like also Femdrake is going to be hunting first. So we're gonna get to see what Femdrake plays. I think Sculptor and BQ most likely will be banned here. So maybe they have an opera, maybe they have some other thing. As long as it's a girl, she'll play it. So we'll have to see what we get from a Femdrake here.
That's so real of her.
True. Yeah, definitely real as hell. I think the survivors should be coming in shortly, so hopefully soon enough we can get these picks and bans started.
Mhm. What do you think would be a strong female hunter for Ever Sleeping?
Well, their names are Opera and Ivy. It kind of depends on which one you prefer. I think for Ever Sleeping, both Opera and Ivy are good, so it's pretty much up to preference. Um, Ivy's good, and so is Opera. So it's like if you want a more secure character who definitely won't lose and has potential to win, you usually go Opera. And then Ivy has much more win potential, but it can also backfire if you get kited, which we've seen from nobody actually. We've seen a weak early game and a strong early game. So Ivy very volatile but can succeed.
That's true. High risk, high reward. And Femdrake would probably be going for a 4 or 3 kill here, right? Since it's easier for the hunter to get a 4 kill than survivors to 4 escape, Femdrake might be trying to take on the pressure of gaining the point advantage back since it is round 3. So unless they tie in points, it would be the final round.
Yeah, that's true. If this map or if this round ends in a draw, MPH are going to win off of points. So GSL have to play aggressively here and they have to really push to regain that point lead. Um, it's going to be a little bit difficult for GSL, but Femdrake is a strong hunter that can succeed like we just saw. And if they're able to secure a win and if the survivors can beat nobody, things are gonna be looking good for them. So a lot of pressure coming in here, and MPH's survivors still are not in the custom. What is going on?
Mhm.
Okay. It looks like there could be a short delay here. MPH's survivors may need some extra time. OT did say wait. So it looks like maybe some sort of conflict here. Hopefully nothing too serious. As soon as the survivors have enough time to get everything worked out, we should be seeing the survivors come in and we can get this third round started shortly. It is already 6:30. Dang. Okay.
Mhm.
hmm
It's 7:31 for me. It would be around. Have you eaten dinner? Has the chat eaten dinner?
Ooh, dinner. Yeah, that would be nice. I do like food and eating, so hopefully I can do that today. Ha ha ha.
Mhm.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. I told my friends I would play Fortnite with them at 6:30, so I
No.
underestimated. Yeah, I thought this match would end sooner. Everyone go scream at MPH to hurry up.
Yeah, hopefully, one of them just has to go and they'll bring in a substitute.
hmm
It
Yeah,
looks
are
like they
we?
want.
Oh, excuse me.
Oh, sorry. It looks like they wanted to bring Elshria from NYX, but I don't think that's possible, unfortunately, since he's on another team.
MPH were trying to do that?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, where did you? Did they
It
say
says
that?
Mapacy MPH, but it was Elmo who said it.
Oh, MPH, Fantasy. Uh, I'm so lost. There are way too many channels in the server. Oh, I see. Um, okay. Also, it looks like if MPH 4Ks, they win no matter what. Which makes sense because they need a draw. If MPH 4 escapes, they also win no matter what. So funny how that works. Could go either way here potentially. Um, yeah, I think they're really fighting for this sub, but I don't know if the TOs are gonna let that slide. Oh, were they still trying to get that sub in or what? Yeah, we are unfortunately still waiting here. Oh, and it also looks like my good friend Carrot is switching devices, so I mean, it's not like they're missing out on anything. They should be back by the time we get into picks and bans, hopefully. Hi, Abby. What's up? Yeah, MPH needs the four-man. Yeah, whoa, okay. Okay, so SSL was subbed out for Astro Meow. Which means it is going to be a new survivor here for Team MPH. Not sure what's going on here, but it looks like they finally decided, and now that we have that sorted out, once we now that we have that new survivor in, we should be getting started soon.
Sad to see SSL go, but excited to see Astro and what they have to bring to the table. It looks like GSL is saying hurry, rank is on the line.
Yeah, now we do have these guys coming in. It's gonna be Father Milk and OT, and I believe this is gonna be Astro Meow here. So yeah, really high win rate survivor here, double peaked here, all that drip. So Abby told me to lock in. Yeah, I got you. We are gonna be getting started shortly here. Femdrake is gonna be hunting, so dang, why is my name getting spammed in chat? Oh, for SSL? Okay, yeah, I thought Astro Meow was proud, so I was kind of confused, but that makes sense.
Oh, Astro Meow is Proud Sensei?
Yes, I believe so. Yeah, and now we are gonna be getting started with these picks and bans. Sorry for the delay, as always. What am I gonna? Yeah, best clerk, best wheelman, best Hellember. Um, thank you guys. I really appreciate it. I'll make sure to play the Hellember tomorrow. But for now, we are watching Femdrake, and Femdrake wants to ban Priestess and someone else. Maybe Seer? It is Ever Sleeping, so Priestess makes sense. And they're really Oh, Seer's global band? My bad. Oh, I can see that. Yeah, Seer, Anti-Acro, and Puppeteer are global band. It's gonna be a psychologist band, by the way.
Looks like they're banning the two characters with fast healing, possibly because healing is the enemy of map pressure.
Yeah, that's a really good point here. And now, looking at these hunter bands now, looks like they don't want to deal with the opera, actually. So they are going to prioritize banning the opera. And now they can ban either Sculptor or BQ. They decide to ban the Sculptor here. So we could see a BQ in the third round.
It looks like for a moment they also considered banning an Ivy, but decided against it. Decided to respect ban the sculptor instead.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I think that's pretty smart, given how close they were to getting four killed in that Sculptor match. It was really dangerous for them. So Sculptor, just a dangerous hunter in general. Anything can happen against her. So maybe you'd rather play against a more predictable hunter like BQ.
Especially against Vendrake's hunter with those statues and that fast down. I would have banned her too.
hmm Yeah, that's a good point. It was a really crazy fast down in that factory area on a suicide build barmaid. So not something you ever really expect to see. But Sculptor can just do things sometimes. She can just make downs happen really fast if she hits some crazy statues. So none of
Mhm.
that, and it looks like it's going to be a Merc and a Gardener pick here from the survivors.
Looks like they're going for a very stable comp so far with two survivors that can technically take 3 hits and strong kiters.
Yeah, I mean Gardner is a really versatile option. She has her bubble in the early game and she can recall it later on. So Gardner definitely a very consistent survivor. It's also going to be a prisoner ban here, so maybe Femdrake's worried about them pushing for a draw, and they actually pick Embalmer as well. So I think it looks like MPH's survivors here definitely going for a draw here in this match.
Mm-hmm. And Drake making sure that they don't get the fast decoding so that they don't have that easy option for a draw or a 3
Hmm. Yeah, I think Prisoner has been really popular lately just because his Cypher Rush is so fast. And if you support him well, it can be difficult to chase him. So doesn't want to deal with that. No patient either. And now one last pick here for the survivors. Maybe if they could get some support here, something like a dancer could be good. Maybe something like a toy merchant or a harasser. They could play like prospector or coordinator. Yeah, I think coordinator is really good here.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I think I mean Embalmer and Gardner to some extent can be weak chases. Like they can be they can be pretty hard to kite with. They die quickly, but with the Embalmer and with the support, they're going to have a lot of tools here to push for a draw. So I think this is a strong comp here from MPH.
Mm-hmm. With Gardner and Embalmer too, possible that if they find the opportunity, they can go for more either with the coffin or the chair breaking.
Hmm. Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen like a Gardner pop off with the chair harassment in tournament, but that would be really cool because if you manage to die in a corner and there's like only one chair close by, Gardner can basically guarantee a struggle, and that kind of like forces the hunter to switch targets, which can be really good. I don't know how many
Mm-hmm.
shares there are like that in an ever sleeping. I guess that one share near island. Like if you don't have that share, or I guess you could still go to the chair next to 11. I'm not sure, but we could see something like that happen.
Yeah, I don't know if they've added it so far, but they permanently added the chair near the corner of one of the maps. So that spot isn't really there anymore, but there's still some good ones in Graveyard or near Fake Gate.
Hmm. And it actually is going to be an An instead of a BQ here. So Femdrake actually not going for the BQ, maybe not feeling confident against this comp. Instead going for an An who has a very strong chase and really good right now. So I think An definitely could succeed in this position.
Mm-hmm. If I'm not mistaken, Feltrix played a different hunter, so showing off her beautiful female voice.
Mhm. Yeah, a lot of versatility coming out from Femdrake here. Really interesting spawn as well. It looks like Embalmer might be rotating to Graveyard. Um, and Femdrake trying to decide who to chase. Looks like she will be spawning under the Gardener here. Maybe she could still change their mind, and does. So is potentially chasing Embalmer now at Graveyard.
Mm-hmm. I wonder who she was looking for.
Probably Embalmer. I think Embalmer is your best bet here, just because he doesn't have anything to kite with.
Mm-hmm. Especially against Anne, even if he places a coffin early on, Anne can quickly jump over there when he rebirths, if he can't make enough distance.
Hmm. Yeah, that's a good point. Embalmer, unfortunately, it looks like Embalmer is going to be on his suicide build, though. So with that, Embalmer could do a long kite potentially. Looks like this time Cord does not have Tide. Cord is going to have Broken Windows, and Gardener's going to have Flywheel, so only one Tide, but Embalmer can definitely do a long kite here with his suicide build potentially, if they use a good route, so. Okay, we are going to be getting started here. Femdrake does preferably need a 3 or a 4 kill here to put GSL in a good spot, so this is a lot of pressure on both sides here. Getting started, good luck to both sides.
Mhm. Looks like you predicted, and it's going for Father Milk in Graveyard, placing down a coffin already to rebirth there, and confined spaces, so that means Embalmer will probably be trapped and have to take a hit here and transition out.
Yeah, unfortunately, Embalmer kind of got caught in a rough spot, wasn't quite able to dodge that hit. Now is heading back towards the tram, but not going to be quite able to make it. Didn't really buy enough time to loop for tram, and now is going to be taking another cat. However, Fendrake misses the cat here, and this could be enough for Embalmer to actually make it. No, it leaves! He
Oh,
does. Well, not quite.
unfortunate that the tram abandoned Embalmer right there, especially since with the cats just out, Embalmer could have made a lot of distance. But it's good that he managed to get away from basement.
Yeah, that was really nicely played there from the Anne, and unfortunately, Embalmer, I don't know, they just kind of messed up their route looping around Graveyard. Usually, you are able to loop Graveyard once before the tram comes, but not quite. And it is going to be an Embalm as well, so no rescue coming in, nobody is going to be injured, and the Ciphers are going to be catching up. But Embalmer does immediately go down, nowhere to go.
Very smart from the ant, stepping on one circle then the other to make sure the stun is long enough for the bubble to disappear. It does look like she'll be going for a basement, so this might have to be a cell.
Yeah, I don't think there's any point to rescuing a embalmer in basement. It looks like we might see a mercenary feed Tinnitus here. But Anne actually uses her teleport here to get closer to the mercenary, and Merc might be forced to go for this rescue. They will make this rescue, although they have to use 2 elbow pads.
Mm-hmm. And Mercenary waiting down in the basement to maybe divide her attention to not get down trying to escape as well. But it looks like, will she go for Mercenary? No.
Yeah, it seems Femdrake is very tempted to go for Merc. But not quite too far, unfortunately. Is going to be getting the chair on Embalmer. However, Cord still has gun. Both Cord and Gardner are at full health, and they're on their last 2 ciphers here. So if they have a long second kite here, this could still be a draw potentially.
Mm-hmm. It looks like she is heading over to the cipher that has a bit more progress, so someone might have to come and take that over. Coordinator already transitioning out, taking the cat.
Yeah. Now it looks like Femdrake is just going to be exploding the cat here, not quite able to get that pallet mine game, which is going to buy Cord a little bit of time here. The gun still is blocked, but we might see a gunshot here coming out soon. Here's another cat, and does Cord actually go for the gunshot? Oh, does take the hit then.
Yes, I guess she didn't want to risk accidentally using the gun to cancel the attack recovery.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good point. You definitely want to avoid that. And now it looks like a mercenary actually got teleported on. And again, with only 1 elbow pad here, Merc is... Oh, actually gets the pallet down in time, which is going to buy a little bit more time for Merc to rotate away from the cipher. And it looks like Gardner is working on that cipher as well. Cord also started her own cipher. So they do have an extra cipher, which means they could still push for a draw here. However, it's pretty close and Cord is injured, so this is a bit of a risky position for the survivors, especially with
Beautiful bubble.
Mhm. Oh dear. Um, yeah, it looks like Coordinator is actually gonna wrap around for the rescue on the FO or on the Merc, but Femdrake can just chase this Gardener. And right now, no decoding is happening at all, and everyone is injured. So this is actually a really dangerous position for these survivors here.
I think she might be able to make it to basement two. That this gardener has snooze instead of knock struggle, I think. Yeah.
Mhm. It looks like Femdrake doesn't quite want to go for that basement. Maybe a little too risky, and luckily Cord is actually going to be able to finish this cipher as well. So the survivors might be able to make it to a three-man endgame. However, Gardner is in the chair, and Cord is forced to rotate away from the cipher. It's not quite finished yet.
It's gonna be to keep that cipher open with the last person on half health, but it does look like Femdrake is choosing instead to go back to the chair.
Yeah, so now the mercenary might be able to make the rescue. Yeah, and that is going to be the rescue there. Unfortunately, Femdrake might just want to wait out the Merc. No, just hits the Gardener, which means the Cypher's going to pop.
Merc made it before half two. It does look like she's going to switch targets to the Merc, which might be better since Gardener has the bubble, but Merc doesn't have anything so far.
Yeah, and Merc actually doesn't have self-heal, and it looks like Femdrake does know that. They know that they were slugging out Merc earlier, so they are immediately going to teleport on the Coordinator. Unfortunately, Cord has saved her gun until endgame, so Cord is going to be able to buy enough time here, especially with that dodge. No, but she shoots the wall. Unfortunate, and goes down.
Yeah, beautiful dodge from Anne. Very unfortunate that the gun didn't hit. It looks like Gardner will be leaving the mercenary. The mercenary is still only at 63%.
Yeah, there's a lot of pressure on that Coordinator there. And I think it's just too difficult to hit that gun because Anne can just immediately jump at you and stun you. So, however, wait, hold on. This tram is actually blocking the Anne. Is Gardner going to be able to make this gate open in time? Goes for the shield and gets the bubble. So this Gardner actually might be able to escape with the flywheel as well. That's actually going to be a one escape for the survivors. Very well played.
Mm,
Oh, I didn't expect a one escape there. I actually thought it was going to be a four kill.
yeah.
Yeah, that was
Amazing bubble and flywheel from the Gardner, making sure that she got out alive, and mercenary almost called out too.
yeah, that's a good point. It was very well played from the Gardener. Gardener was able to rush open the gate there. I think maybe if Gardner was able to take a different route where she wasn't completely because it was too easy to bait that because of the wall that was right there. If Gardner was more in the open, she might have had an easier gunshot. I think it's just there's not much Gardner or there's not much Coordinator can do to hit that gun. It really is too difficult to hit there. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
unfortunately, the Embalmer wasn't able to kite very long, I think, which is why they struggled so much. And the Merc getting found out early, but still really well played getting that one escape. And hold on, has someone figured out what the win conditions are here? Mhm. Yeah, that makes sense. So it looks like nobody here does need to get a 3 or a 4 kill. Definitely a lot of pressure on nobody, but also a lot of pressure on the survivors here. This could definitely go either way. So really yeah, really intense situation here, and we're gonna be waiting for the survivors Nah, Clue, they need a, if they get a tie, if nobody gets a tie, then GSL win off rounds. So it does need to, they do need to get a 3 or a 4 kill, so they at least draw rounds, and then it can go to points.
Definitely a very tight situation for both teams. I'm excited to see this last round to see how they choose to play it out.
Yeah, definitely. A lot of, a lot of pressure on both of these survivors, and it looks like Father Milk will be playing Hunter here. Interesting decision to sub out the star Hunter nobody here, but Father Milk is a 95 win rate Sabertooth. I don't know how he lost to Elks. I will have to ask him later what happened that match that he lost. Very interesting, but nobody is definitely or like not as good as Father Milk, considering Father Milk is the best hunter in the server. Does he main Ripper?
I think he means Gamekeeper.
Oh, he mains Gamekeeper? Wow. Yeah, Gamekeeper gameplay would be really exciting here.
Or at least he likes Gamekeeper.
Does he?
Yeah.
Well, maybe nobody can play Gamekeeper out of reverence for Father Milk, but we'll have to see. Does look like everyone is in the custom though, so we should be getting started soon.
Shame that we didn't get to see Father Milk play, but excited to see the last match of nobody hunting.
Yeah, definitely. A lot of pressure here. This is the last matchup of the, or the last game of the matchup, so both sides here have to play their best here to finish out strong, and nobody is going to be banning Seer and Antiquarian here, not banning Priestess. Very interesting. I think,
Priestess is pretty strong in this map too, with all buildings. So it might be pretty dangerous to have her light up, especially since the survivors might not hesitate to choose strong first picks now that it's the last round.
yeah, I think the survivors are definitely going to pick Priestess, actually. Because I know that Toxic really likes playing Priestess. So it's pretty realistic that we might see that here. It is going to be an Ivy and a Hermit ban here, which isn't very surprising at all, which leaves nobody maybe with Opera, maybe with a Night Watch or something like that. Maybe a Wax Artist. I don't know how much nobody plays. But it looks like the survivors are going to be going for an Embalmer and a Cheerleader lock for the first two.
Two very difficult survivors to deal with, one with the cheers and the other with the coffin. So excited to see how nobody deals with that.
Yeah, I mean, Embalmer with his coffin, we saw with the last match, even though Embalmer went down so fast, MPH were almost able to recover and push for a draw in the end game. Unfortunately, they ended up having some messy chases even after that, but Embalmer really good for securing draws, just because he can rescue himself. And Cheerleader as well, her support's so strong. It's just, if you play Cheerleader aggressively, you can give the Hunter a lot of trouble. So it looks like it is going to be a coordinator ban, and then it's going to be an FO lock. Wonder what kind of survivor we're going to see in the last slot. Nobody still has another ban. And he actually does ban out the Priestess, which I think is expected. But the survivors maybe could go for some more support here. Something like or a prisoner. They're actually going to be going for some fast decoding here. Trying to rush down these ciphers before nobody can actually get his get all of his kills. So fast cipher rush could definitely be strong here at securing a draw.
It helps that the prisoner seems very confident in kiting as well. And I never noticed before they have a matching name with the cheerleader, so maybe the teamwork will be very good.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure how what the translation looks like from e-dating to in-game support, but I'm sure that we'll see something good here because GSL are really strong when it comes to teamwork. As we've seen so far, their coordination is pretty good. So that's definitely something to look out for here. And now we just have to wait on the hunter pick here. Unfortunately, no Hermit or Ivy available. I think nobody does have an Opera though.
Well, yeah, Opera could be strong on this map as well, since there's so many narrow places with different shadows she can jump back and forth to.
Yeah, and the nice thing here is that none of these survivors can actually kite Opera. Prisoner, Embalmer, and Cheerleader are all going to be really weak against Opera, so if nobody's controls are on point, and if he doesn't miss any dashes, he'll be able to get a pretty fast down, most likely.
Mm-hmm. I guess we'll be seeing in the next 20 seconds who nobody decides.
Mhm. And there it is. It is going to be the opera singer. I think you definitely have to go opera here. It's just so good as long as you feel confident with the dashes. So as long as nobody gets some consistent dashes in, I think they can really chase anyone, although Prisoner would be the best here.
Mm-hmm. With Embalmer and Cheerleader and Prisoner, Cheerleader and Embalmer are all distance-based, and she can catch up very quickly. And I think even First Officer, since her swing is so fast, I've seen so many opera singers swing randomly at the chair and still manage to hit First Officer.
Hmm. That's very true, and it is going to be a Sui build on the Prisoner. Looks like FO will have Tide, and then it's going to be Flywheel on Cheerleader, Broken Windows on Embalmer. So definitely wanting to give Prisoner a lot of tools to succeed here if he does get chased, which is pretty realistic. However, nobody actually going to spawn next to FO here. Most likely not going to be chasing FO, maybe going for Cheerleader instead here. We'll have to see.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think Cheerleader would be pretty good just because even with her speed boost, Opera is still very fast and can catch up really quickly. As long as nobody has like fast pallet breaking, I don't think Cheerleader is going to be able to make a lot of distance.
Yeah, that's true. And if he goes from that direction, she wouldn't have a lot of places to go without kiting onto Embalmer or Prisoner.
Yeah, definitely. Unfortunately, Cheerleader doesn't have Corner House to work with, which is really good against Opera, and no Graveyard either. So the only issue for nobody is Prisoner could be rushing the ciphers really quickly, which means if he makes any mistakes chasing this cheerleader, he might lose his chance to win and could end up with a draw. So he's gonna have to play very aggressively here.
Mm-hmm, that's true. Prisoner definitely isn't an option just with the distance, but with the proximity of Graveyard, which is really hard on Opera Singer with all the palette spam.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to be. It can be difficult to handle the pallet spam. You always have to try to play around that and maybe get a good jump in to get around the pallets. But now we are going to be loading into this match. Nobody is going to be dashing immediately towards the middle. Some pretty clean controls here from nobody.
Mm-hmm, beautiful fashion. Speaking out, it looks like to be the cheerleader who's going towards the two walls.
Hmm. Yeah, now he is going to be closing in on this cheerleader. Already he doesn't have a lot of distance, and that's immediately a hit. Very well played using the jump to get around the pallet. Unfortunately, cheerleader just ended up vaulting into him.
Mm-hmm, beautiful dash. This section is hard to dash around, but it does look like she'll be able to catch up soon, even with the pallet and the window in the way.
Yeah, nobody is going to be breaking that pallet, and already cheerleader is just going down. That was almost an instant down on the cheerleader. We can really see why cheerleader struggles so much to kite against Opera, and it looks like nobody had a very fast early game there.
Mm-hmm. Cycles are not even halfway for most of them, and she's already pressured 12 Cypher, so it looks like it's going to be pretty tough for survivors to get it back from here.
Hmm. Yeah, definitely. I mean, this is going to be hard to come back from. It looks like FO almost gets a free rescue there, not quite, but I don't think nobody got the Berserker speed boost here. And now it's just going to come down to whether or not this cheerleader can actually rebound here. She does have both pallets to work with, and he misses a blink! However, that jump is going to allow him to secure the down on cheerleader. Very well played from nobody, not panicking, and securing the down.
It looks like Hylidae did get embalmed, but the coffin is pretty close to the chair.
Yeah, that coffin isn't going to do a lot as far as distance goes, but it is going to make sure that nobody gets injured trying to rescue her. Oh, but they just set up another coffin in graveyard, so she is actually going to get some solid distance.
I'm glad he was able to move the coffin in time. And now she's going to be able to kite in graveyard, the nightmare for a lot of hunters.
Yeah, however, nobody already closing in. Even if she goes for a dash here, yeah, unfortunately, she can't really do anything. And so that is going to be the cheerleader getting downed and being chaired. And now it's already 3 survivors left with only 2.5 ciphers done. This is an extremely strong start from nobody.
Mm-hmm. Just noticing something a little straight on the side. I'm surprised that Prisoner has been the person to finish the first 2 ciphers since he's usually the one sending progress. But
Mhm.
the other survivors have also been very busy with the support.
Yeah, that's a good point here. Nobody is going to be moving towards it. Looks like the prisoner here, which is definitely his best chase here. Prisoner not going to be too difficult here. Does have that one stun, and you need to be careful that prisoner doesn't cancel your dash. But once he doesn't have that stun, there's nothing you can do. He's not going to get hit by the tram. Well played by nobody. Maybe he's switching targets here?
Mm-hmm. It looks like Prisoner wasn't with a lot of places to go at that point, but Chen definitely came and helped.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think nobody really wants to chase someone that's currently decoding so that he can slow down their cipher progress as much as possible. And he didn't really think that Prisoner was going to be very productive there. However, might be able to. It looks like Prisoner just got on a cipher over here, and nobody's blink is coming back up. So I think if he commits to Prisoner here, Prisoner's going to die pretty quickly.
Mm-hmm. Looks like Prisoner was running out and looking for a chance to stun, but unfortunately caught between the wall and an empty space. Oh, this is a really cute smiley face.
Yeah, a really great flywheel there is actually going to allow Prisoner to make back some distance and delay that hit. I mean, it looks like nobody's going to get hit with an inconvenient stun as well. And these ciphers are actually starting to make back some progress. However, nobody is going to teleport onto the Embalmer. Nobody can down this Embalmer fast enough now. He could still get a 4 kill. Ooh, that is going to be the first hit on Embalmer.
Mm-hmm. And everyone's injured, so they may have to. Actually, they wouldn't have to reset because the cipher's almost perfect.
Yeah, it looks like they may want to just rush down these ciphers. However, they're not actually working on the one that's 70. And besides, nobody doesn't have to commit to the Embalmer. Although Embalmer is going to get to go back to the cipher that's 70 now, so that might end up allowing them to recover their cipher progress here. Is going to be going for the Prisoner here, who I don't believe has his stun back yet. So Prisoner... Oh, no, he did. And so that's going to allow Prisoner to make it to this pallet here. Also dashes to the same shadow there, unfortunately. Oh, but gets the Terror Shock.
Mm-hmm. An intense mind game between Opera and Prisoner over there, seeing if she would jump over, but Opera had very good patience and won.
Yeah, now nobody just has to stall out the trait for endgame. This is going to be a really close endgame. It's going to be 3 survivors, but everyone's injured. And now FO actually does use their first watch here to make that rescue for free. Nobody maybe thinking about going for the FO, not quite able to. Now going for the Prisoner, who I don't think has the stun back, but nobody not quite able to get the hit there. Can nobody get the down on this Prisoner here? Misses again. Finally gets the down there.
A lot of matches from the Prisoner buying a lot of time for FO to maybe escape, but FO is still trapped in a bit of a tough area since she can dash over those small shadows.
Yeah, and now FO is getting chased. He has another watch, but not going to be able to go very far here. Nobody's going to jump back, trying to get towards that Prisoner. However, Prisoner is working on that self-heal. Does get the self-heal in time now. Now Embalmer's actually not moving from the gate. I thought maybe Embalmer would decide to pick up FO, but it looks like nobody's actually heading back for the FO instead. maybe thinking about sharing FO and then teleporting to the gate, trying to cut off Prisoner.
Possibly. On the plus side, he knows that he can't go through dungeons since he just saw it, so he only needs to make sure that nothing happens at this gate.
Oh, but nobody. He predicted the route, but he's taking the wrong way. He doubles back now, but Prisoner might actually be able to make this. No,
So
but no.
Prisoner still has a stun?
Yeah, and dashes back inside the. Oh, does he make it with Flywheel? He does! And it's gonna be a draw. Wow. Very well played by GSL, and that's gonna secure their win there. With the draw now, GSL are gonna win this matchup.
A very tight endgame at the very end. Prisoner really did his job well. Nobody almost cutting him off enough way.
Yeah, honestly, after such a fast down there, I was surprised that nobody ended up losing momentum, unfortunately. It seems that the maybe in the late game nobody ended up switching targets a little bit too much. I think if they stayed on Embalmer potentially, they would have had a better chance to secure a victory, but very well played by GSL to actually get that draw, and they are gonna win the matchup, so congratulations to GSL.
Congratulations to GSL and congratulations to Mathesy. Both sides played very well.
I do believe that that's gonna be our last matchup for today. But it's only Friday. We have plenty of matchups for you guys on Saturday and Sunday. So please look forward to those. This was really fun to commentate, and congratulations to the teams. And thank you, Carrot, for commentating with me.
Thank you, DTM, for co-commentating. It was a pleasure.
Good.
Oh, make sure to eat. Don't, like, it's dinner time for a lot of people. Don't skip eating to rank.
That's a good point. Yeah, so thanks for tuning in, guys, and make sure to watch tomorrow. We're gonna have a lot of matches. So GG's to both teams there, and congratulations.